Aspen Cavalli here, and welcome to my channel, Aspen Cavalli, also known as the Aspen Cavalli Show. For those of you that follow me, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Tumblr, and I also have a podcast, the Aspen Cavalli Show, on Spotify. Welcome to the carnival, bitches. I'm going to jump right into it. Why did I join the adult industry? It all started with me wanting money. That's it. It's nothing like there was, I see these like stories about, oh, I joined it for this and that. No, I joined it because I like money. I like fast money. And at the time, I think I've worked over hundreds of dozens of jobs, and it just was not enough. Like, I remember literally being negative $11. I couldn't afford a banana. Bitch, when you cannot afford a banana, you are fucking broke. So I decided right then and there that, okay, I'm hot. How can I capitalize off being fucking hot? Like this is not it. Like seriously. Okay, so let's take it back to where it began. So I was working at a boutique. This was like 2016. I ended up leaving to go work at Red Door Spa. And in the midst of that, I was in college. I was taking online classes for communications and political science double major. Then I enrolled in a beauty school, which is now defunct and closed. It was Robert Paul Academy Cosmetology and Sciences, and I enrolled in a nail program because I didn't have time to do the cosmetology program. I was just like, okay, I can do. I think the program schedule was like from 9 to 1, and then like weekends you had off because I was like, I gotta work. I'm working at the spa as a makeup artist because at the time I'm a licensed makeup artist. It still wasn't enough. So I ended up quitting there as I was like getting into fights and arguments. We'll talk about that later. Like salons are it's a fucking jungle. I'm just like, look, I cannot. And I was doing more like makeup lessons than actual clients. Like they wanted to know how to do their makeup because I guess they didn't have time to come and get a full beat. And then I'm doing more reception work. So I'm like at the front desk, then running to do a makeup lesson. But that salon is closed down too. Most of the salons that I've worked at are either closed or they just don't have business. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. We'll talk about that later. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover in this carnival world of mine. So fast forward, I'm back working at Macy's. I think this is like my third time working there. So um I'm still like studying for my nail test because I'm finished nail school. It was only like 3 months. And I'm still in college, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm getting these checks. And then at the time, my family and I, we moved to a place, and this is the first time I'm like paying rent. I'm like, oh my gosh, like when you want to live somewhere great, rent is fucking high. I'm like, what am I going to do? So, at the time, I have three credit cards. I have Chase, Capital One, and American Express. So I'm just running it up. I'm running it up. I'm spending money I don't have. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm late on rent. I'm paying the rent. And then it's coming back because I don't have the money in my account or in or on my card. So not only did it come back, but then I got the return payment fee, the late fee, the court fee. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I ended up dropping out of school. Um, and then I ended up passing my nail test. I worked in a few salons. It didn't work out. I was not making any money. So then I'm back at Macy's. I worked at restaurants too. I'm like, because it was just expensive. I'm paying like thousands of dollars for rent because, you want to live somewhere nice. So I'm like, okay, this is not adding up. I'm paying thousands of dollars of rent, yet I'm not bringing more than thousands of dollars, you know, from my paycheck. And at Macy's, it was just like such a competitive atmosphere and environment because we worked on commission. And I'm at Macy's as a flex person. So what that position is, you're just you're flex. You basically make your own schedule, but you're not guaranteed hours. So you could be out of work for an entire month because I wasn't part time, which I didn't want to be. I was there part time before and then kind of full time. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. So I came back as a flex person and I could just pick up shifts. So you could work like 7 days a week, you could work the entire month, or you could be off. And I'm just like, at a certain point, it was slow. I was just not getting any hours. And then they had a point system and I was late or I'd be coming from another job. And yeah, I'm just like, this isn't working. And I remember being off for one point for like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And I was working out. It's a mall called Arundel Mills. And it's so far away from the mall where I was working. And then I think at one point I was working three jobs at one time. I was at Macy's, I was working at Guess and Swarovski. I hope I said that right. And the checks were still not adding up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So um I'm talking to this guy. I met him at the bank that I worked at. It was M&T. We met a long time ago. He's a little older. We're gonna call him Mr. Stiffy. And at this point, the relationship had just ran its course. He was just an asshole. But I had to hit him up for money. I was just like, oh my gosh, I need $400. I'm behind. I need $500. He would show up and give it to me, but at the same time, I had to hear his mouth. It was a lot. It was a lot. And then that's when he was just like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm like, okay, well, all right. So, I look at my bank account one day. I'm negative $11. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I gotta eat. I gotta pay rent. I gotta pay my cell phone bill. Right now, well, I'm prepaid now because I got rid of that bill. But I go on this app called Antiland, and you can talk to people from around the world. I'm talking Switzerland, London, um, Miami, I just all countries, all states. So, I go on there and I tap, selling nudes, selling I'm selling it all. I could be an online girlfriend. So this one guy, his username was Young Stud One, and I'm like, okay. So he's actually in my hometown. I'm like, but like in a further county part. So we get to talking, and then when you're just like hard up for cash, you're like, fuck it, I don't even care. So we exchanged numbers, and he told me his name was Joey. At the time, I was going by Chloe. I wasn't going by Aspen. I was going by Chloe. It was just a fun name, and I was like, okay, it's like a little Brad style name, whatever. So he just was like, what's your cash app? I was like, I gave it to him, and money was sent. So I think I got like 140. It was like 140. I'm like, what? I didn't even send a nude. I'm just like, we're just talking. I was like, this can't be fucking real. I went from negative 11, from stealing garlic bread from the market, and I got caught. I'm like, what the fuck? It was so embarrassing, but I still go shop there. That was just a low point in my life. And I'm like, okay, this is so super fucking easy. So then I started getting more like feedback from the chat rooms because Antiland, they have chat rooms. And I'm like, okay. So then we get to talking and he's telling me about his day. I think he was like a butcher at a market and stuff like that. And yeah, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to Sephora. And he'd be like, oh, how much you need? And I'm like, I just need $60. Boom. I get it sent. And then, of course, I sent a nude, but before I didn't have to. And I just wanted to. And then I was like, oh, I'm hungry. His favorite dollar amount was like 170, 170. So I was getting like 170, 170, but it was adding up. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is super fucking easy. So I'm coming from Guess because at the time I was working at Guess and Swarovski, and I signed up for a webcam site on my computer called Flirt for Free. Flirt for Free. And I do some work on there. And then let's fast forward to like 2018. 18. I'm working at Sunglass Hut, not making any money. My lowest check was like $80 because the manager, she was such a fucking bitch, like a real fucking cunt, and not in a good way. Like she was just, ugh. I'm just like, I would literally arrive there and she'd be like, you can go home. I'm like, I just got here. Like, I have to pay bills too, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, so I literally went home. I would cry. I would drink. I'm just like, why? What is wrong with everybody trying to stop me from making money? Like, she was a literal bitch. Like, so I ended up getting another job at a spa. I have so many work stories, y'all. We are gonna talk about this. I call them vanilla jobs. But yeah, so I started in OnlyFans while I was at Sunglass Hut. I just signed up and I started posting pics. Didn't really get any traction because it wasn't as popular as it is now. So I had this coworker, geez, what are we gonna call him? We're gonna call him Chocolate Bar, and he worked at Macy's, but he worked in like the sneaker department, and I would sell him nudes, and that was like a little side hustle. And then also be guys that would come in Sunglass Hut and actually went out on a date with one. We'll talk about that too. That's a crazy story. I have lots of stories, lots of stories. Oh my goodness. It's a lot that I didn't cover on my podcast, but I'm here now. So let's fast forward to 2019. 2019, it was just like my breaking point. I'm just like, okay, I can't keep working at these spas because the bitches would not let me get any clients. Yes, they were super fucking bitches. Like, I was working at a spa. It was like a luxurious spa in a casino, out live casino, and just people would move clients from my book, and it's just a lot of cattiness in salons. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna open up my salon suite. So I opened up my salon suite, and I actually had two, and then the pandemic hit, and I was like, oh my gosh, we had to close it. um we had to break our lease. uh I was almost sued for $12,000, but I had to write my way out of it. Uh, what else? It was a lot. So I found myself working at Sprouts, the supermarket, Fresh Market. I did a stint at Amazon, and same shit. Same shit. It's just people trying to block you, people getting mad at your work ethic. I got managers coming for my neck for no fucking reason. I'm like, I think at one point I was working at Red Robin, Sprouts, Fresh Market to help pay for my salon suite. And then I was like, all right, I can't do it anymore. So I had quit Fresh Market, and then I was just working Sprouts and then Red Robin. Then I quit Red Robin. I was like, okay. I started doing Instacart and DoorDash, and that kind of slowed up. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to see about jobs. Yeah, I quit Sprouts. I quit Sprouts like right before Christmas in like 2020. Was it 2020? Had it been like 2020 or 2021, something like that. But I just Googled because I just sat down. I was just so frustrated. I'm like, what are some jobs for sexy people? Like, what are sexy jobs? And then, like, of course, lawyer, doctor popped up, and like articles, and I read through them, and I see this link to this website called sexyjobs.com. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna click it. I'm like, this cannot be fucking real. It's literally like a phone book for sexy jobs. Like, it connects you to being a webcam model, a phone sex operator. You can do adult films, things like that. I started off because I had some experience. So I started off and I clicked on a site that said like telepass, and it took me to a site called Arouser. I saw this site when I was looking at sites and signing up for OnlyFans back then, but it wasn't as popular, and it just took off. So let's flash forward. Someone sends in my stuff because they see my profile on Sexy Jobs to Hustler. I get an email back from this guy and he's like, yo, so and so, so I'm like, what? He was like, I received just your photos and someone sent me your photos. And I'm like, okay. Because I got a text from this other guy saying, oh, this is like Hustler's email, this is Playboy's email. I'm like, okay, when you go on the site, Sexy Jobs, you there are some like sketchy like job postings, but most are legit. You just have to like use your use your good judgment and literally just cipher through them. Like I'm just like, nope, I'm not doing that. Nope, I'm not doing that because I was looking for like photographers. It was crazy because I said that I was gonna be in Hustler. Like I would literally tell people, oh yeah, you know, I'm in Hustler magazine. Like it was already done. But then to just get this email, I'm just like, this can't be. No, wait a minute. And I just revamped and I came up with a new webcam name, a model name, and I had to think of something that um it couldn't be something like so crazy, but at the same time it's sleek and sexy. So that is when Aspen Cavalli was born. It was literally like an overnight thing. A lot of people say, oh, you can't have overnight success. No, I literally signed up for Sexy Jobs and July 2021, and then I got hit up for Hustler in October 2021. Like shit moved quickly. He was like, "Okay, I need your ID. I need this. I need your photos." And I was just hesitant because I was just like, "Is this a scam? Is this real?" And it was real. I went to go print out the release form, and I just said, "You know what? Why not? What do I have to lose?" So then I had to send in stuff for this thing called Beaver Hunt. So it's just like showcasing the beavers and just like amateurs, like amateur models, and you can get like prize money. So I get an email back from the guy, and the way he was texting, I'm like, is this, I'm sorry, emailing. I'm like, is this real? Because he was like, yeah, yo, this, yo, that. I'm like, what? But this guy, Morgan Tex Hagen, he has to be like 80 something years old. He's the coolest dude ever. Shout out to Morgan Tex Hagen for just helping me. um but so he was like, you know, you're going to be in the February 2021 issue. I said, what? I'm going to be what? I'm going to be a hustler. Like this is major because at the time I'm on webcam sites. On Arouser, you know, building up clientele. This is the ball has been rolling because I've been in it since like 2018, but shit didn't really start popping until like 2020, where I was just like, okay, this is my sole focus. This is what I'm gonna focus on. It's bringing me money. It's great. It's fast. I'm just like, this cannot be real right now. So wait, so I meant to say I was in the 2022 issue of Hustler. So that was February 2022. So what happened? Everything just happened so quickly. So I get a check in the mail, and it's like it has the Beverly Hills address on it, the address on it. It's like made out to me. I'm like, no, this is this is it. Like I'm excited. So I actually walked around. Like I got it to my P.O. box. And I'm like, what is this? I was like, if I cash it, are these people gonna scam me? I didn't know. So because I got the check before I got the magazine. So I literally went to a check cashing place, and they were like, I went to two, and they were like, well, we're gonna have to keep it. And I'm like, if this is from Hustler, I don't want them to take my very first Hustler check. Like I don't want them to take it. So I have several bank accounts, and I put it into one bank account where I'm just like, okay, if they get rid of it or if it's negative, then so be it. But it went through. I was like, okay, this shit is real. When I knew it was real is when I received several copies of the February 2022 issue of Hustler, and I'm in it. I literally flipped to the pages of the Beaver Hunt section, and I'm there. It's all the pictures that I took of myself, because at the time I'm on Sexy Jobs and you can find photographers, and I was talking to photographers. Also, don't put your real number on there. If you don't, I would put a sideline number. At one point I did put my real number, and people were just like being skeezers and being annoying, and I'm just like, all right, I cannot, like, just being a real skeeze or just like bothering me. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow about it, and they're just blowing up my phone like all times of the night. Some people, they're in like different states, so it's different time zones, I get that. But if I tell you I'm in this state and right now it's this time, why are you still texting me? Like, no boundaries. So, you know, I talked to different photographers, and at the time I was doing promo modeling, which I still do a little bit, because I've also been a promo model and a brand ambassador for, I want to say, has it been 9 years? Since like 2015, which has been super fun. That's been a wild ride. So yeah, we were talking, and I'm like, you know, I was talking to this one guy, and I was like, yeah, I want to take pictures because I want to be in Hustler and Penthouse and Playboy and things like that. And he was like, oh yeah, and sent me these photos, and I'm just like, that's not what I want. I was like, well, let me see your studio. And I'm like, yikes, that looks like a serial killer's like dungeon. I'm not doing that. And I was gonna ask people to like come with me, but I'm just like, people, they just act so busy and act like they're so busy, or they don't want to come. Or I had people say they were gonna come, and then yeah, so I just was like, you know what? I was class photographer in high school. I can take photos. I've studied like Vogue. I know about Patrick Demarchier and all the great photographers. I can do this. I can take my own photos. So I literally had like this tripod, my iPad, and I took photos on my iPad and my phone. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna submit these, and yeah. And those photos are in there. And I literally had on, what did I have on? I had on a Sheen lingerie set. It was pink. And I'm just like, I'm in this magazine. Like, I'm in it. And at the time, I tried to be like very low key about it with webcam. And like, I was like, I don't want a social media. I'm going to be underground. No. Like, they were like, you need a Twitter. You need a social media. So I literally was in this magazine. No followers, no social media. Just like, I'm like, damn, I'm in it. Then I start getting hit up to be in more magazines and more just opportunities. And right now I've been in over maybe 11 issues of Hustler, and I'm in the anniversary issue, the past one last year. And I have like a 5 or 6 page spread in the Beaver Hunt magazine. I'll like show those later. But yeah, it's been a ride. I've also did some things with Eroticism magazine, and I'm on the cover of this magazine for like a Valentine's Day shoot. Super cute. If you follow me on Twitter, Aspen Cavalli, follow me on Tumblr, you'll see like all of my links. Of course, I'm on some sites. But it comes with being in the adult industry, and that is why I joined. It has just brought a lot of opportunity, I've met a lot of cool people. I'm going to like different award shows. I've been invited to the Glamour Awards in London, and yeah, it's just been super fun. People have asked me, how are you a webcam girl and you haven't decorated your room yet? So I'm gonna need some help. Because I'm always on the go. So I've been just like trying to put out like ideas. Like, I want to do like 80s bedroom decor, like give some drama, give some like sleekness about it. Then I'm like, do I want to do like Gossip Girl room decor? I do a lot of like PSO work too. For those of you who don't know what PSO is, it's phone sex operator work. So I'm like always on the go, like on my phone. And I never really thought about it. Like, I'm just like, geez, I have to decorate my room. But when you're on the go, or, you know, you'll have up your webcam for a little bit. Like, I remember falling asleep on webcam and waking up to tips. I'm just like, okay. Like, I never thought about it. I was too busy buying clothes. So just like, I have to decorate my room. I have gotten a lot of, how can I put it? A lot of shit talked about me. I've lost friends. Dating has become like not hard, but we have this term like vanilla. So vanilla jobs, vanilla people, they're just not in the industry or they don't know anything about it. Or I call them normies, like normal guys who don't know anything about anything, or like normal friends. Like I just call them normies. Like you're not in the industry, you don't know. Um, I always like to say I'm in the adult entertainment industry because I tried to get with the term sex worker, but I'm just like, not all of us are. We're into a lot of avenues. Like some of us just pose, some of us are in film, some of us are just on sites, some of us are on clip sites. Like we're not, I don't think we should be labeled as sex workers. I think it should just be, because sometimes it doesn't even feel like work. I'm just like, I could literally get online and be like, hey, and then I get a tip. I'm like, damn, I didn't do shit. Is it work? I mean, yeah. And you can get burnout at one point, and I talked about it on my podcast. I wanted to quit webcamming because I literally felt burnout. There are slow days, but it's great to have like different avenues of income, having multiple things you're into. Like I have worked little side jobs here. I freelance. I promo model. I've done like liquor events. So it's good to dip your toes in different avenues. And just be spread out on sites. I always recommend to be spread out on sites, but we'll talk about that later. Uh, yeah, but I have gotten like a lot of just people try to throw negativity at you, like trying to make friends with girls. Like if you tell them, oh, I do this and this is my site, they swear up and down you're trying to take their boyfriend or you're just a little fight running around. I'm like, I don't care. I'll be all of that, which you think I am. Family, when you tell certain family what you do, then they're like, oh no, I don't want to. I'm like, girl, what do, like, I don't care. Like I had told a family member of mine and then he had just like went off like, oh, that's not right. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You're not giving me money. And that's how you got to take it. Like with being in the adult industry or just anywhere. Like if you dance, if you're just posing, if you're in films, like no one's giving you money. They're not paying your bills. Don't give a fuck. If siblings don't want to talk to you, so fucking be it. If your friends don't want to talk to you, like I was on the Smokers Lounge podcast. Shout out to Bobby Lucas. And I sent the poster that he made, the promo poster, when it was going to drop. And I sent it to an old friend of mine who was also a client at like we went to school together. Like him and I go way back. And he was just like, oh, you're into that. Oh, I don't like the way you move. And just started being really snappy to me. And I was just like, I don't know if it's the green-eyed monster or you just don't like people in the industry, or, it's funny how people don't like people in the industry, but yet they consume adult entertainment. Like, I don't get it, but whatever. So I just was like, you know what? And then at one point he blocked me. And then I was like, hey, did you like block me? Like, and I'm normally not like that. I usually do the blocking, but I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong to you. He was just like, I don't like the way you move. I don't like what you're into. I was like, well, I don't really care what you like or what you think I'm into. Let me put on some gloss because that literally made my lips dry. Like haters make my lips dry. But I'm just like, I don't care what you think. Like, I don't care. I'm literally going to make a video of all the jobs that I've worked. Like I've worked, honey. And if it ain't working, I'm going to find another avenue. And sometimes these jobs don't work out. You have to create your own job and create your own way. Like, because I be damned if I be hungry. Not if I'm hungry, if I be hungry. And I always got to stay fly because I'm a Virgo. Like, I like my hair done. I like my nails done. I like to look good and up to par and and being caught up on my bills, like paying my bills. Like, I don't understand. People have all of these opinions. You're not giving me money. I worked somewhere and I told this guy because I wanted him to drive me to a photo shoot. That is another story. And he was like, you could just do regular modeling. I don't understand why you pose nude. I was like, well, motherfucker, I tried to do regular modeling. I modeled in a charity fashion show, which was super cool. I was drunk off mimosas. I tried to submit my things to like modeling agencies. I was too brown, too short, I'm like, I'm not gonna keep getting denied. And I have this friend and she models, you know, for big brands, but she doesn't eat. She tries to look like something she's not, meaning she's like, oh my gosh, I gotta like do my hair this way. I gotta sear it off so my natural curls won't show. I gotta make, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I like to eat. I love bread. I love desserts. Like, I'm not doing all of that. Like, it just, people don't understand it's certain types of modeling and it requires certain things. Like, I'm not about to be sitting up here like going to go sees and keep getting denied. Like, no. Whereas though Hustler and the adult entertainment industry took me in with open arms. Like, I feel as though the adult entertainment industry is more accepting. Like, I'm like, if you're hot, you're hot. Like, some of the stuff that I see modeling down the runways, I'm like, damn, y'all need to eat. You know, I have friends that, as he said, regular. Can you be a regular model? He told me too. What did he say? He was. I'm gonna call him Tic Tac, and it's the reason why I called him that. We're gonna talk about him. But he was like, you could be like a receptionist. You could be. I'm like, ooh. First of all, I've been all that. I've been a receptionist. I've been a bank teller. I work retail. I I've done it all. If it's not working, honey, it's not working. Like, how the fuck somebody's gonna tell you what to do? Like, I don't get that. So, just having organic relationships with people and you're in this industry is can be kind of isolating. So a lot of the girls that I talk to, they're in the industry or, you know, yeah, they understand it because a lot of people are judgmental, but you have to have like thick skin and you have to I already walk around like I don't give a fuck and I'm confident. So for people to be like, oh, you pose nude or you pose in lingerie, bitch, I don't care. I don't care what you think. I'm having fun, I'm happy, and I'm gonna ride this shit out until I can't no more. There are women in Hustler magazine that are like in their 70s, 60s modeling, being hot, getting paid. Like what? But yeah, you do get a lot of flack. But you're gonna have people that support you, you're gonna have people that don't. I joined the industry because I've worked plenty of jobs. I've tried career paths. Like currently I'm studying for the LSATs because I want to do like a law apprenticeship. So, but I also love being in the adult entertainment industry. I write, I act, I model. I'm even interested in medicine. But at the same time, I'm like, this is what I do. And sometimes it can get like, I was talking to this one person and I was like, yeah, so this is what I do. And they're like, you do that? And I'm like, oh, you don't want to be my girl no more. But they started like acting funny. Like when you tell guys you're in this industry, they like, oh, can I see content? Oh, and they start acting like really like weird and lustful. And I'm just like, okay, shouldn't have told you. Then some people are just like, I don't care. But my thing is, like I said, I joined this industry because it's great money. um it's just fun. Like it's fun. Like I've always been confident and my webcam persona, and some people have their webcam persona and then they have their regular. This is me. Like I'm just asking Cavalli. That's it. Like this is how I act in my regular life. Like I'm lit. So I can like transmute that onto cam and just take off. Like I started a podcast. Being in this industry has helped me find different avenues to share my voice and share stories. And I'm excited to just share my carnival of a life with you guys. Thank you for watching this video. It's Aspen Cavalli. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button below. You can also follow me on Twitter, Aspen Cavalli. You can follow me on Tumblr. Yes, Tumblr is the shit. I'm a Tumblr girl for life. I also have merch, so you can hit me up for that through email or you can go on my website. Also, be sure to check out the Asma Cavalli show on Spotify as well. Okay. Ciao.